We are back in the studio again this morning to talk more about amputation. Last week was to do a quick conversation on it, on what factors might lead to a patient or a person to get any part of the limb or the body amputated. We'll do a quick recap on the conversation, and then we move into the treatment and life beyond that in the next 30 minutes here on the show. Let me say good morning to Jason, who just joined us on the show as well. Jason, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good.
Yes.
I'm good. Apart from hearing what's going on with you.
Well, there's nothing going on between anyone.
Maybe just to help remind a few people about what has been going on for the past couple of weeks is that I've been asking Kojo Trip to show us his results, exam results from last 2 semesters. He had failed to do that because I doubted some of his points on certain specific issues that we had discussed here, and he failed to do that. And in people said that I hated him for that, and I felt like, well, then let us strike love the opposite instead. And I've been advocating for the fact that let us be able to, you see, there's a stigma, and this is when I say people don't get me. Sometimes a stigma attached to a lot of things.
Stigma is good.
Yes, and
no. Sometimes stigma, we should leave it. Let's leave it. Let the stigma be there.
Just shut me out. So I've been saying that. Away from, because you see there are diverse effects of what we don't want LGBTQ in our country. I stand against it proudly, but when it goes beyond a certain, that also means that 2 brothers can be able to walk in town and talk openly or share a certain level of emotion towards, they're not intimate emotions, or it's just family, you understand, family, friends. Like Chris, I should be able to tell you in a text message that, yo, love you, bro, and there should be nothing wrong with it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Exactly, yes. He says yes. So that's what I've been advocating with Kojo, being a victim to this, and I don't know why he has a problem with it.
The lawyer is your client.
And I'm just saying that I'm just saying that you guys should be able to, like, I should text you, bro, like,
just give it.
you know boys have got a way we hug. Boys have a way we hug, right?
Yeah,
but a boy in need or a male in need hugs different. Like, when you've lost a loved one or something,
that's true, yeah.
You need a certain level. But
so
that whole
context,
imagery,
context is everything, right?
Context is everything. I say this all the time.
Context is everything. You are right.
Everything.
You are right. So in this context, I do believe that anybody to be able to show a brother that, yo, bro, I did for you, like you my G. So maybe he wants it the hard way. So, Kojo, you're my G.
I mean, it's cool that he says this because Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend is a brother born for times of distress." So, we can all be friends.
And this
but
morning,
it doesn't have to go beyond.
It doesn't want. No, Kojo.
Yeah.
I would not want to have anything to do with you. No, don't get it twisted.
Me neither, Jay.
Yes. No, I'm not even in that conversation. What I'm saying,
we should amputate the 2 of them.
What I'm saying is that Kojo, same again. Proverbs 17:17 says,
"A friend is a brother born for times of distress."
Times of distress. Lenny, were you not on the show this morning when Kojo spoke about how he's
give me money. Give me money.
Give him the money.
I'm distressed. Give me the money.
Sure, I'll give you, bro.
Give me.
I'll give you.
Yeah, no.
No, bro, I'll give you. I'll give you money, bro.
Damn.
Anyway, he's my bro. He's my bro.
Yeah, bro.
And I did for you. I mean, I'd give you blood if I have to. Like,
it sounds like
if we check our blood and Kojo needs blood, why not? But whilst we're on that, we spoke about amputation. So a quick recap into the conversation. Kojo, as though you were saying that if you saw me lay on the floor in that need, you would not attend to me.
I would attend.
Let me just lie on the floor, then let's see.
No.
CPR.
So
basic life support. Basic life support. You give you like
pump his chest.
Yeah, but you have to give the air. How will you give the air?
I'm not going
he will definitely have to lay his hands on me. He'll touch me. I don't need CPR, but he will definitely, if I felt that. But that's a kind of bond that Kojo and I have.
Look, I think
and I've been supporting his he's been on sustainability on an environment.
Yeah, we have some activities coming up as well in October. There's a workshop also coming up pretty soon. So yeah,
sustainable environment.
Yeah,
measures or
And I tell you what, Lenny, Jason, Chris, nobody here advocates for this more than me.
The only thing I want sustainability for right now is finances.
I saw that.
Financial.
Anyway,
financial.
We'll get into the conversation right
before we can think about anything.
The pastor is there. So take it.
But Kojo, you can attest that I've been championing this.
You have spoken on it a few times, so.
Really?
You have spoken on it a few times. You have. I mean, yeah.
Doc,
This one you pay now.
All right, so
Doc.
we're talking about amputation the
Yes.
other time, and we started by saying that is the last resort. You know, in other words, we rather save your life than save the limb. Right, so save the life, not the limb, because and also we went on to add that it's a choice to the patient has to make a decision on the final decision on whether we should cut it or not. And the third thing is that we have to be sure that we are cutting the right limb.
Sorry, for the second part, even if it will lead to death, the patient can still say
he can say no.
Wow.
And in that context, we can then refer to maybe a next of kin or somebody who can make that decision for the person. Because sometimes you can plead that the person is not in the right frame of mind to make that decision for their life. So then the honors go on somebody else.
Just out of curiosity, have there been instances where legal cases have arrived saying, don't leave the limb, don't cut it?
Yeah, there are precedences like that.
Okay.
There are precedents where the wrong limb was also cut.
By professional?
Yeah, by
Based
professional.
on what Jason is asking, what are the processes that the legal processes you go through? Is it just a verbal yes, or do you sign off something?
No. We actually need to explain the procedure to you. We explain the condition.
Is it on camera? Is it on?
No, we get a witness.
Okay.
So either there's a nurse on my behalf, there'll be a nurse, right? Or a colleague, doctor.
Does it involve
And then your family member, somebody who can also be there, knowing that sometimes we can even get the whole family together if somebody they live together. Because as we were going to go on and talk about what happens after the surgery, which involve the family again, so we get them involved and say that this is what's going to happen and this is what's going to lead to, and this are the complications, the amount of time you're going to spend in the hospital, the going and coming back for treatment, coming for dressing of the wound, all these things going. So we give you all the tools you need to make the informed decision. So we call it an informed consent.
Okay.
What if the person has a power of attorney?
Not to like resuscitate. Those who have like do not resuscitate. I don't want blood. We let it be. But we also still explain that yes, you have your right to say no, and you have the right to say no to treatment, right? But if you are below a certain age,
you can't, because
you are the ward of the government, the nation, the state. If you're a ward of the state, then the state can say go ahead and give the person treatment.
Okay.
Right. But in the case that you are an adult, like beyond a certain age, then we have no choice than to listen to what you have to say.
I want to understand this, just to digress a little bit. Doc, what does death mean to you as a medical practitioner now? Because you've come, I don't know if you've come into close contact or seen.
Yeah, I have.
Unfortunately,
I lost an uncle, a loving uncle, to death, and I was there, and it's not an easy thing. But to me, it's always been a mystery to me. The finality of it, that the person is no more here. The person is no more going to pick your course. And also the third part is the regret aspect of it. Not on my part, but I see the regret on people who would have wanted to pass by when the person was in the hospital.
Yeah.
People would have wanted to what's that word? Reconcile a lot of things with the person. And the person says, I have this, I have to go and do it. And the person comes at the time when the person has passed on. You could just see there, it's not just pain, it's the regret that why didn't I make time? Right.
And for you as a doctor, when you have a patient that you were on or you are attending to, and the next minute passing on, and I'm just digressing a little bit. I'll come back to amputation.
Yeah, it does. If I can speak for most of my colleagues, it affects all of us. No matter how much we've been trained to put it aside and shove it down deep somewhere and move on to the next patient, because you have other people relying on you. So you need to sort of sometimes bottle your emotions, because that
form bonds with the patient.
Yeah, we do. We try not to, because of the pain that comes with. Because I always tell people that people used to understand that sometimes it gets to a point you don't remember patients' names. You can meet them in public and not remember their names. Like you know the person, but you know the person per condition. In your head, you treated a person for this, so a person, it's saying that you get it.
Hydromusis capulae.
So if you look at some of us at the contact, you can see the name and then the condition, name and condition.
So you meet somebody times like, arthritis.
And even on ward rounds, as part of respect for patients, we don't mention their names on the ward.
Why?
Because we have family members or other people sitting around listening. When we are doing the ward rounds, we are going from bed to bed. So we don't discuss. We talk. We say the patient, this is we are treating for this. Is a patient being treated for this? We don't ever mention their names.
Okay.
We don't mention their names in public. We don't mention their names because of privacy and out of like stigma and all that. You don't know why. Because somebody finds out that the person has a skin condition, or the next bed, the person might start behaving a different way.
Yeah.
Ignorance is sometimes bliss. For us, in the sense that when we talk about amputation, we come back to the fact that amputation is talking about death, right? is sometimes the death of a limb. That's why we amputate. And the same feeling that you're talking about when someone loses a loved one is the same feeling they feel when they are losing a limb. The finality of it, that this is something I used to work with, and this is it in my hand.
It's dead.
And we also mentioned last week that you can choose to keep your limb.
And die.
No, you can choose to keep your limb. Like we amputate, you can take it home.
But doesn't it rot and stuff like that?
Yeah. So
Maybe
you,
embalm it.
I don't know what they do with it. Someone to, I don't know what they want to do with it. But you can't even bury. You can't even bury it without a legal document. You can't bury it without a legal document in this country. You need a legal document saying like where it came from, everything, before you can bury it or even incinerate it. Either way, you leave it with us and we do that job. We keep it in the morgue. After a few weeks, we incinerate all of them.
No, so I want to ask how you prepare people or patients who go through with amputation for what comes after, like living with it. Because I think I was with Elikem and we were walking and we saw a lady. I think she had one arm amputated. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen anything like that.
Okay.
But we saw her with one arm amputated, and none of us said anything, but it was almost like it was a silent acknowledgement of the fact that, wow, like she has she's an amputee.
It makes you appreciate yours, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like it was also, I don't know the word to use, but it kind of just brought me to this realization of how fickle things can be.
Right.
You know, how easily you could have like both arms today and then tomorrow
It's too long. The next minute.
Oh wow.
Because imagine somebody who works in a factory that uses this industrial machine, saws and blades and all these things, or crashing things falling from the sky. Even people who work on cars. When they jack the car and are putting the arm in there, the car comes down, crashes the limb. Then you talk about chronic conditions like diabetes, because of the diabetes and the sugar and everything that is happening, the person can't heal wounds properly. The wounds don't heal faster enough, so it gets infected and the whole limb gets infected, and then we have to take it off. You are looking at all these scenarios. So when we talk about amputation, it's not only just sickness per se, or accident per se, or road traffic accident per se. It can be just industrial accidents or even home accidents. People who fall on their arm and don't get proper treatment. Because when you don't get proper treatment of the arm, the blood that's supposed to supply, the vessels that's supposed to supply blood to the limb and make it refreshed and make it move on, they can't stop. And to you, the pain is stopping. The limb could be dying.
Oh, so it's not the pain that goes away.
No.
So
you see when the pain. That's why I say we said last week that when you are in pain, it means you are alive.
Okay.
When you are in pain, it means you are alive, because the limb dies and you don't feel pain. To you, I'm okay. But once in a while, you should also figure it out that then the limb changes color, skin sensation moves on. You understand? So to say you're taking somebody's limb and you say to make that decision, we don't take it lightly.
Okay, Doc, let's go back to source and things that lead to the death of limbs that need amputation. These sores, when they come off on the limbs, it's easy to amputate and get rid of completely to prevent it from affecting other parts of the body. But let's just say that I'm diabetic and this sore happens on a part that can't be amputated. I'm making reference to this because just like maybe a part of a tuber of yam that is messed up, you can scoop out, or a bread that's going bad, you scoop out that part and then keep the rest. In this case, where you have sores that are placed at parts of the body, it's like maybe on my chest, on my tummy, somewhere, on my back. How does that?
It's called, the word medical term for it is debridement, because we debride the wound. You take out all the dead cells and dead tissue, keep going until you hit blood, until you hit pain, because blood is life. So if you can see blood flowing to that area, it means that it's going to refresh the area and rebuild muscle and tissue.
So that means that there's the possibility for that flesh to get
regenerate.
back
Yeah, you can. Yeah, regeneration. Yeah.
So there'll not be like a dip or a hole.
There will be, but sometimes we have very good. We can do a tissue transplant in certain of these places. Plastics will come in and try and. It depends on, you see. Yeah, so you can do plastics and everything. Like the burn victims, what we do is all dead skin cells when we take it off, but they replace it with living cells, living tissue to try and like regenerate. So we can do that, like the way we do for breast cancer. We can do the implants. For example, they had the wound on the breast. It's called sepsis because the wound. We can go in there, take out, and then put artificial breast in there.
Okay. Can the when you put artificial breast? Because I'm going to ask.
Yeah, you can't put a natural. You can't put.
It doesn't grow.
No.
The cells in there don't.
Because
grow back
last time we
way.
talked about breast cancer, I explained to you that most of the tissues in the breast are not basically muscle. The only muscle you're going to get is from the chest wall, the underlining tissue wall. That's muscle. The rest of it is fats and adipose tissue. the same thing that is in your gluteus, which is your buttocks. The same structures that are there in the, but just that in the breast you have mammary glands.
Yeah, I like the way parts of the body repeats itself in different. I like the way smile on your face and the parts of the body repeats itself in
other places. Yeah, like your abdomen. Yeah.
Well, you say the butt has the same.
Fatty adipose tissue like the breast. Yeah,
the breast. Yeah. I also heard about that in the mouth is similar to that of ladies in their.
Yes, it's exactly. Yeah.
I heard about
the
that
same,
as well. Why are you staring at
the
me? The
innermost part, the way the structures in your mouth is, the way your blood vessels are very exposed in your mouth. Right, the same way blood vessels are exposed the vagina and the anus.
So you can literally.
That's why. Why the whole thing, with oral sex is a problem, because you put it in your mouth and in the same place you're transferring bacteria to her.
Yeah, and I'm sure the bacteria that would thrive in such places
will thrive because the bacteria thriving in your mouth that is normal here, going to the foreign land like the vaginal cavity can cause destruction.
Yeah.
So you can literally see and.
Okay. Yeah, so now to this, you're transferring. You see, all this God in His wisdom separated everybody. So if you are transferring things that are supposed to be here, it's like you're transferring plants that grow in clay to black soil, to plants that grow in sand soil and rocks. Yeah, you're just messing up the whole ecosystem.
So now, back to then, based on that, talking about
so it's not sustainable.
When you then amputate, the post-care, when you amputate, are there any instances where you have to close the wound? Yeah. Let me just not even speculate. How do you close the wound? Let me ask that.
Oh, do you have my animation still for closing the wound?
I think.
But if not, I'll go for it. So when we make the incision, we leave a flap.
Yes, you mentioned.
Just like where your trousers has a flap that covers the zipper itself. We leave a flap that helps us to cover the wound and then suture the lining. Because if you amputate, like people think,
means so.
Yeah, so
okay.
So if you think we just amputate by some of them that we amputate by just cutting off like straight. I tell a person that if we did that, the wound there'll be a big gaping wound at the end, which there'll be no flap or muscle for you to use to suture.
Okay.
In the instance where we can't get a flap, maybe happening in an industrial or something, and then we don't have a flap, we can actually use a flap from your skin, your thigh. We can take a flap from your.
What they call grafting.
You can do a graft. Very good. You can take a graft from there and then try to cover the leg.
I mean,
calm down.
In another word, right?
Those who don't understand grafting, I think you just want to explain.
Skin graft.
So skin graft is when we take a layer of your skin. It's usually the buttocks or the thigh, and then we grow it in a lab. They grow it in a lab and under very hygienic conditions, and then we remove that same skin tissue. So it's basically like taking a slice of cheese, so a thin slice of cheese from one area and putting somewhere else. So that's what we use it for.
You said grow the skin.
We grow it because skin, the type is where maybe I put it on face, because there might be hair and other things. We don't want it growing overgrowth on a person's face where you put it. So you have to treat it per the place you're taking it to.
Okay. Me when I hear growing skin, I just think
because they are all specialized cells, right? They're specialized, they're specialized cells, like the scalp, right? The skin on your scalp is supposed to grow hair, like the amount of hair I'm talking about. So if I take your thigh, which doesn't really grow much, you need to sort of encourage it, sort of rechange and recode it. Recondition.
The hair, not hair, but some body parts expand, they grow. So if we pick a part of the body that doesn't really grow and you put it there, you know what's going to happen. You're stuck there for life, bro. Jason, I don't want to go into details. Don't make me bring
I understand.
Yeah, you get me. Just imagine which part of Jason doesn't expand. Like maybe his, I don't know, maybe his finger. Like here, we take this part.
Every human being, not just Jason.
I'm just saying that, just trying to let you understand, because we all understood. Like maybe we take this part of Jason's.
I understand now.
Skin.
I understand now.
Yeah, but just for
this teacher.
with slice understands, but palm doesn't really expand like that. We stick it elsewhere, bro. That's the same thing. He's done for life. Anyway, Kojo, sorry, doc. So
so after post care, like your first treatment starts with us in the hospital after your surgery. After your procedure, we start with the treatment. We dress your wound and prevent like sepsis and infection in the wound. Keep it dry as much as possible. And then, for example, somebody's diabetic, we try and make sure we stabilize the sugars and all that. Now, the part that gets tricky is when you leave the hospital, you are discharged to go home. We need to provide that environment for you to thrive at home. For example, if there are stairs in your house, we need to have to make a ramp because of either the walking stick or the wheelchair, or what's that one? I put on the armpit for walking. What's it called? Forget the name.
Clutches.
Clutches.
Yeah.
Is it clutches or crutches?
Crutches.
Yeah,
I think it's crutches.
I think it's crutch. Yeah.
I think it's a crutch. Yeah, because it's supposed to stabilize. Okay, it's a crutch. So then we need to you need to practice it in the hospital with physio, with the crutches, how to walk with it, how to walk the walking stick, how to walk like wheelchair, how to like roll it.
And all this comes at a cost.
At a cost, yes.
Okay.
Because physio after surgery is important. And also we need to the wound area, the limb that is left, it causes a lot of pain because the nerves that are there.
Oh, okay.
And bleeding and other things. So you need to be massaging it.
Just to clarify, is this an expensive cost? Or I mean, expensive is relative.
It's relative to whoever it is, yeah. But it is
because this money we're discussing money. Yeah.
Yeah, it is a financial obligation.
Yeah, what you've seen, are people able to afford?
People are able to afford it because now we have a system. Because it's the physio that is the problem.
Okay.
People can get the treatments, but when it comes to the physio aspect of it, it's when people don't show up.
Oh.
Because they come for a while and they feel it's expensive or something like distance. If you can't afford for a physiotherapist come to your home to do it for you.
Yes.
Because you need to put the limbs in motion. Because so it doesn't get stiff.
So with this physio, is it right after the surgery or is it after it heals?
After when it's healing, physiotherapists come in. Okay. We always get them. So the treatment for that person is a team effort. So we tell you after my job is done, you go into the ICU where they are managing you for whatever it is. Then you go to the step and we discharge you. Physio come in and take you from there. Another thing that is very important is the family support. Who is going to take care of the person? Who is going to help the person? Is the house amputee friendly? You get it? For example, anti-slip mats in the bathroom. Because the person has, when you have 2 feet, you're already slipping.
It's Doc, I'm glad you said this because a lot of times in our infrastructure, that have come to realize in buildings, we don't cater for the physically challenged people.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. You see it in stairways.
And those who even do it, I have a problem with those who do the ramp sometimes. They tile it.
Yeah.
The whole point of that thing was for someone to push a wheelchair up it. It's a ramp. So you need friction. Yes, so you need friction. You've already made the thing smooth.
Damn.
Yeah, you are defeating the whole
purpose of it.
The
whole purpose of it is gone.
Let me ask about the psychological behavior of people who have just been amputated. Because waking up and me thinking that I could just move one arm and the next thing I know it's not there.
It's a serious adjustment. Some freak out. Like some can go as bad as mental. But they think that somebody stole their limb. Like they actually think somebody, and sometimes there's something called the phantom pain, the phantom limb. The person still believes the limb is there. So the person tell you that I feel under my feet is itching.
It's the brain.
And he said, which one? It's the leg, the left leg. That's the one they went for.
It's the brain.
Is the brain still hasn't communicated to the rest of the part of the body that this is no more there. That's why I said the physio is important in all that aspects.
It's also very interesting to imagine how the brain accepts that, because it has a certain cycle in the way it operates. And then when something is no longer there, the brain has to just adjust.
I have a question for you. Can you move around your house in the night? With the lights off? Like there's a light out and you need to go and get a torch light or whatever. You can move around?
I wouldn't do that naked.
Exactly. So the reason why you can do that is because your brain has sort of pictured where everything is in the house.
Yes.
Right? That's why if you watch a movie and somebody by bad is entering somebody's house, right? The person intentionally turns off the lights. Because you know where your kitchen cabinet is, and you know the person will be banging his leg on things and stuff like that. That's why it also annoys our parents when we move stuff and they hit their leg on stuff. They get really upset. Like you pick a ladder, you don't put it where it's supposed to be, put it somewhere, and then she comes looking for it. Because the brain has that when you lose a key, we tell you walk back to where where do you last have it, right? It's because the brain can send you back. Okay, I last remember having it here in the car. So where do I start looking for it? In the car.
I think it's crazy how as human beings we take so much for granted.
So much.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. I think I saw a video on how important the thumb
is to everything. Yeah,
is think about eating without your thumb.
It's picking up anything without your thumb.
Without your thumb is crazy. I saw.
You're basically negating this whole part of your body.
Yes.
So and that's what So you see, it starts from when you're a baby. As part of your milestones to see your development of a child, which is something we call the pincer grabs. You put your hand inside a baby's hand and he holds your finger. It's a very good sign. It's a very good sign. Okay, the muscle is building strength. Is connecting things. But the same child, you do that and then nothing.
Okay,
it's a problem.
So,
you are moving in a room and the child is not following you. You are moving from left to right. The child is looking there. but when you're moving, the child stops focus. That's a sign.
Yeah.
So there are little things that we take for granted. You said even we use it for marking a baby's timesheet. Okay, at age this, you should be able to sit up. You should be able to balance this on your own. You should be able to pick up a spoon. You should be able to say ma, syllable words. You should be able to say short words. You see, it's development. So when you don't hit it, that means you are delayed.
That's a problem.
Okay. So, I mean, he spoke about the mental issue that they go through, and you expanded on that a bit. But I also wanted to know, per what you guys have seen, has society, shouldn't even say accept, because this is what somebody's going through. It should be. It should be what it is. But are we at a point where, you know, you see what people go through and you don't make them feel uncomfortable because they're already feeling uncomfortable what they're going through?
You see how
are we getting better?
We made a lot of progress before COVID, where we had our brothers and sisters who were physically challenged manning our toll booths.
Yeah.
Our comm centers and like jobs that don't require them to sort of like be mobile.
Yes.
Right. And if it felt good in the sense that we were trying to reintegrate them into society. But not less, because it got to a point where they were always on the street begging. I know my cobbler who fixed my shoe is one of them. And he does amazing work with leather. No matter how bad your shoe is, he can make it look like you just came out of the box. That's a skill. You see, so I feel when we stopped discriminating towards them when it comes to jobs, because some of them are gainfully employed, some also are very qualified for certain jobs. For example, if you're a bank teller, right? I don't think you need your feet. I think when you count money and giving people people coming for them, they can definitely do that. But you see, will people, when the person gets up from that chair and gets into their wheelchair, you know, would people just be staring around? Because that's the mental aspect of it. Because they will stare. Because I even brought a video of people who have been amputees, they give how they went through that, and if our producers are ready, can they show that?
I don't think. Okay, all right, sure. Let's put that on the screen now.
Wow.
Amputee since you were 10, Zimri?
I've been an amputee since I was 10 years old. I contracted meningitis and basically coma for 6 months. And then it is true what they say in movies. Your whole life flashes before your eyes. And next thing you know, if I could share a dream, when I came off the coma, I had a dream. And that dream basically told me that I was like a piece of bread. And when bread molds, we tend to take that piece of bread off and we'll still be a good piece of bread. And that's kind of like the terminology that God used for me to understand, hey, you're that piece of bread. I took a piece of bread off. You're still good, you know? So I've been asked so many times if I could change time and had the ability to avoid losing my limbs, would I do it? And I say no. You can impact so much people by living your life story and, you know, sharing a little piece, a little nugget or two can go a long ways of impacting people.
You've been an amputee since you were 10?
Oh God.
Sorry, I missed out on that, but please tell us.
So he's had multiple amputee, multiple limbs surgery. So he has lost both limbs. I think the left arm where we saw is, I think, from the fingers. His digits are. So somebody asked him if he changed the time, if he could go back, would he choose not to lose? He said no, because you can still impact society with whatever you're going through. You can still make a change. So, and that's really, really deep.
Yeah, that's deep.
For you to get an opportunity to go back and save your limb and you say I will still not, then it means somebody who has accepted it.
Yeah.
That's a different level of consciousness of what he is or where he's got into.
That's something else. Wow. It is. I mean, I am thinking about the mental, like the switch.
It's not. You remember your friend you talked about?
Yeah,
some of them don't leave the house.
It's
for a long time. They don't want to. Especially if you have friends who, whilst you're working with them, you knew the way they were when it comes to people who are like disabled, or maybe you were the one. You see, sometimes the problem also is maybe you are the one who used to mock people.
And it has happened.
It happened to you. So now yourself.
For this thing, Charlie.
You don't know what.
Exactly.
You feel like
you even joke with something like this.
Yeah.
You talk about how when you are fit and healthy, right? People take it for granted.
Yeah.
Until you find yourself sick and in bed, where people are visiting you. Right. And I've seen the joy in people's face when they are visited, and those who don't get visited. And the people who are visited actually get well faster than the person who is not. And we don't understand how. We believe it's science behind maybe the happiness hormones that helps with like all that. But looking at somebody who's amputated, the person gets visited by friends. The friends still take it out or him out to places that they used to go already, and don't make it feel like because
you're not a part of.
And also another thing that we also sometimes we do unconscious is that we try to overhelp.
Okay.
Right, because then you are seeing the person as inadequate.
So we have to. It's no fault of theirs, but we have to try and see a balance. Like sometimes, because I remember a joke. Somebody I knew it was like he couldn't pick up the remote. He had amputation. He couldn't pick up the remote, and he was calling someone to pick up the remote. And I was someone like, "Get your wheelchair and go and pick it up yourself." And he laughed. And somebody was standing outside. The person was thinking that, "Oh, that's really rude." Like the person was like, no, the person always fine, I can get it. The person didn't get in the wheelchair and get it.
I get that.
So you see, there's two different
you don't
scenarios.
feel helpless.
That's
Two different people.
Two different people seeing the same instance and viewing it differently. One is saying, "Get up and go and get it," because I've seen you do it. You get it. Some shower on their own. They enter there. You see, as you said,
well,
you have to change the bathroom, the way the bathroom is set up. Sometimes you have to bring if a person's bathroom is upstairs, you have to start making the person use the bathroom.
Let me pay this last bill quickly before I have my final question to ask you. It might sound absurd, but it's worth asking. But real quickly, Telecel has got something for you this morning as well. Listen, Telecel is giving out cash rewards in the Too Much Money promo, and all you have to do is just dial *500# or opt in via the Telecel Play app. All right, there's 100 Ghana Cedi daily to be won, 20,000 at the end of the week, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana Cedis. Yes, 1.2 million Ghana Cedis. Now you can just recharge 5 Ghana Cedis and above to get in the draws. All right, your big win may be a top up or a bundle away, and this is also regulated by NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Telecel, connecting energies. Also, Betway. Now you can be the next big sports betting influencer, where you can place your bets, share codes with friends, fans, and followers, and if they place bets using your code, you earn 4% of their wager. It doesn't matter if it's a win or it's a loss. Once they bet, you earn cash, and the more people bet, the more you earn. So start betting, sharing, and winning with Bet Influencer. It's exclusive to Betway. Terms and conditions apply. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet the responsible way. Betway, get way more. Need I remind you that in case you want to jump back into school, looking for a British degree at a fraction of the cost, looking for that vibrant student experience in a community that builds you and equips you with useful employability skills, well, plus scholarship available to support your academic journey. All this at Lancaster University, Ghana, where you'll be taught by the finest faculty of trained to UK standards in their ultra-modern campus. More information is on their website, or you can email them admissions@lancaster.edu.gh or call them on 0248-656-274. Lancaster University, Ghana is the only British university campus here in West Africa. Doc, this might sound weird, but let me still ask. Maybe somebody has an injury on the upper limb, not the lower limb, the upper limb, be it thigh or be it upper limb. So I'm talking somewhere here.
Thigh, upper limb.
I mean, up part, and it's somewhere here.
Right.
And it hurts to waste everything after that. I mean, I have an God forbid I have an injury here.
Right.
And it's spreading.
Right.
But to amputate before it makes me lose everything else that was working.
Right.
Is it possible that in any form of operation
they'll save it?
No, to take off
a chunk
and
fit.
And the last question, and fit.
And fit what?
Do you get what he's saying? So what he's saying is, if he gets an infection here,
right,
this part of his body, and this part is okay, and so you need to amputate this part, would you?
I know
be
it's dumb
able
the question,
to
but I'm just
cut
asking.
It off and then fix. So that means that it will be a shorter arm because you still have this part.
I don't know about that, but we do it for the leg.
Okay.
Limb shortening surgery. So when they take off that section as you talk about, they can attach your foot to your limb. So, but there's that when we attach the foot, if this is how your foot goes up, it reverse it. It's for prosthesis, attachment of a prosthesis, a prosthetic leg.
Okay.
I used to have a video of this.
So in
why
this
do you
case,
reverse it?
Because you need sensation, the movement of the limbs. Because when you attach the prosthesis, you need to work with it and able to bend, because you get a joint at. You see, you get a joint at the.
No, in that case, I'm
No.
saying that let's say this microphone,
right,
you can just slice the middle and join it.
Yeah, we can do that.
So it's shorter.
Yeah, we can do that.
And you said that's for the limb.
I know it for the lower leg.
The lower leg.
I don't know if the arm.
Yeah, because
is-
I know. I had a friend who had one limb, not out of like born with it, but out of surgery, had one limb lower than the other. So she pads her
shoes.
Her shoes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. To cause the level.
Yeah. We was one of my friends.
Yeah, you
back
can do
in
that. I
school.
know the lower limb I know, but the upper limb I can research and find out. But
Certain.
yeah, the lower limb I know we do that. We do it often. We take out a section and reattach the foot.
Okay. Well, anyway.
So it looks weird though.
Yeah.
When you
It
see the
looks-
person because
yeah.
their foot will be the opposite direction.
So it wasn't a dumb question I asked then. It was a good question I asked. Doc, we'll have to bring it to a close this morning here on the show.
Captain
We're back
Ibrahim
we're back
Captain.
tomorrow here on Big Conversation. Hope you have an amazing day as well. And we are out.